Hello and welcome back to the MMA Split Pick Show. I am Matt.
I'm Josh.
I'm Sylvester.
And you can tell that he is very excited about this upcoming card. And if you're excited about UFC this Saturday night, good for you, because I'm not.
Yeah.
Can we say maybe one of the worst cards of fight nights of all time? On paper?
No. I think on paper, some of the worst ones would be when they go out to like smaller markets and they put on a lot of local fighters. However, some of these cards would then be the best card of the year. I remember the one they did in Peru a couple of years ago. It didn't have a lot of name value on there. A lot of debutants, a lot of basically like South American regional fighters, but was one of the best fight cards of the year. I don't think this one's going to pull off that kind of miracle. I'm going to assume we haven't talked about it because we only just started the show. So I honestly feel like we lost half the card losing the heavyweights in the co-main. That's getting pushed all the way back, I think, to 266. And that fight's already been pushed back.
We lost two co-main events in the space of 4 hours.
Yeah, only one of them mattered, let's be honest.
So
yeah, look,
go ahead. Sorry,
I'm gutted to lose Chris Daukaus. I don't think you can consider Sam Alvey a loss, though.
That was just an extra fight that got lost. That wasn't even the one that they replaced as the co-main.
Who did they elevate to the co-main then?
I can't remember. Let me look it up for you very quickly.
This one, it's Kyung Hoon Kang and Rani Hanya.
Rani Yaya. Yes, that's what's become the co-main event now. But there was a previous co-main event that was the replacement that then also got cancelled on the same day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
This card and then the Sam Alvey fight card got cancelled. It's not been good at all. It's been a bit of a catastrophe, to be honest. Sorry, I'm trying to bring up the person now. And to be honest, I didn't think this was a good card to begin with. So we've ended up with a bad card that got worse and then worse and then worse. So you say by half. I'd almost say that we had half a card that then got cut in half and then a little extra sliver got taken off.
Well, yeah, no, for me, Chris Daukaus was the reason I was excited for this weekend. Especially because that fight was supposed to happen 2 weeks ago. How many times has that fight been pushed back? I think this is the third time it's been rescheduled. And I think the last time, which would have been the second time, was supposed to be a week or two ago. And now we're not going to get it until, what, like another 6 weeks? When is 266?
Something like 266. 266 is start of September, so about a month. 5 weeks, I'd say. But still, it's a big pushback.
Yeah, when you've already been waiting for Daukaus, and then they just keep shifting it back again. Heartless bastards.
This is a shame that this fight got cancelled as well. So it didn't get fully cancelled because I think Stoltz is still fighting. But him against Lazez was going to be the replacement co-main, and then Lazez also fell off.
Yeah. I still like Lazez.
And guys, I've got to touch on this because if we're talking about fights falling off, God, 265 has had a big loss. Drum roll, please. Who wants to have a guess?
No, just nervous silence. No, I don't want to jinx it. Say someone I don't care about.
Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena title fight is cancelled.
I'm a fucking retard. I already knew this.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I didn't know.
Yeah, I had already kind of emotionally run through that one. Yeah. I mean, it sucks, but I don't think you were excited to watch Pena fight. Shit, man. It's like, yeah, so I guess she's not going to defend it on that date. Let's just wait until she gets past COVID and get her a new date. Hasn't she already got her next featherweight? No, ignore me. Holly Holm has got her next featherweight fight booked. Norma Dumont.
Holly Holm has moved
Norma Dumont fight for about.
That is correct. And Yeah, she'll just defend it later. Let's be honest. For 265, there are 4 people we need to stay fit and healthy and get to the octagon. And their names are Nick Diaz. Oh no, that's 266, isn't it?
Yeah, that's 266.
Fuck.
265. Obviously, that's gone against Lewis, right? It's the main.
265 has gone against Lewis and Amanda Nunes against. Sorry, ignore me.
Yeah.
There are 2 people that need to not get sick for 265, and their names are Cyril Gahn and Derek Lewis. As long as those 2 people show up, they've got my money.
You know what? If one of them gets sick and they put John Jones in that spot, I could live with that.
Let me rephrase again. There is one person I need to not get sick and show up on that card, and his name is Derek Lewis. And you've got my money.
Oh, man.
So let's get, before we do the UFC, actually, let's talk about what people should actually watch this Saturday, apart from maybe the main event in the UFC. Because Bellator 263, we're not going to go into too much detail, but watch it because they've got one of the biggest fights of the year across any promotion, as you said yourself. Undefeated
across pretty much most combat sports, considering that we're not getting AJ against Fury. I'd say this is the biggest fight of the year.
Yeah. Grand Prix, AJ McKee undefeated, taking on Patricio Pitbull, who's not only trying to win the Grand Prix, he's also the champion. So it's a double win. Winner takes all. They get $1 million. They get the Grand Prix championship. Is it a trophy they give or?
That's a really good question. I only ever really think about the belt, but yeah. So look, it's not just that they do these Grand Prix tournaments, which are fucking cool. The featherweight one has been their best one to date, bar none. I'd say bigger name value for where they are right now than the light heavyweight tournament they're doing. And frankly, this is Bellator's 2 best fighters, pound for pound, I would say, going up against each other finally. Been waiting for this fight for a long fucking time. It's Patricio Pitbull, who is an absolute legend, versus the up-and-coming AJ McKee, undefeated, prodigious talent. Very different styles, very different body types. And win or lose, I imagine the next fight for both men is going to be running this one back, but at 55. You know, unless Pitbull runs through AJ McKee, I think that the next fight they'll look to put together after this will probably be Pitbull defending, because he's got 2 straps. So he'll be defending the 55 belt against McKee after this one, I think. That's kind of what I'm excited about. But yeah, this fight is going to be unreal. And we're going to dedicate a lot of time to it on Monday, I believe.
It's going to be sick. It's definitely the most interesting fight that's happening this weekend by an absolute country mile in the MMA world. And you've got a couple of really interesting fights as well. Mads Burnell is taking on Emmanuel Sanchez in the co-main, which is certainly something that might set a stake in terms of who fights for the featherweight belt next after the Saturday's fight. Usman Nurmagomedov is on the card, a massive favorite against Luis Mura in the lightweight division, and Islam Mamedov is taking on Brent Primus as well. Brent Primus, of course, former lightweight champion as well in Bellator.
Yeah. I think he's only got the 1 loss, which is when Chandler avenged. Did you guys see the Primus fight against Michael Chandler?
I've seen the highlights. I've seen the one where he catches him on the perennial nerve, and I've seen the revenge.
Yeah. So like it's the worst that I've seen someone's foot go limp after that. You know, really makes the Henry Cejudo one look tame.
It's also the most I've ever seen somebody keep trying to stand up and continue on a leg that physically cannot support weight. Like, fair play to Michael Chandler. He does a fucking Benny Hill, tumbling and falling around, trying to get away. I mean, nothing but heart.
And he says to the ref, "It's not broken. If I go to the hospital and find out it's not broken, which it isn't, I'm blaming you." To which the ref is like, no, it's not. If it's broken, the fight's like, if you can't stand, the fight is over. All right. We don't need an X-ray machine for this one, but
you should have pulled guard.
I know it's like you don't know how long it's going to be fucked for. It's such a hard one to work with, and Chandler's just a fucking beast. Primus too, dude's fucking huge for 55.
Yeah,
old as well. I don't know how he does it, but
Well,
Um,
he's an underdog against Mamedov, so we'll see if he can turn the odds on that one. And then a few other exciting names as well. I don't recognize a lot of these people, but you've got Kassan Magomed Sharipov. I'm guessing might be a relation to Zabit.
yeah, is that his brother?
It must be
Is
his
his
brother.
brother fighting in Bellator?
Yeah, well, massive favorite against Jonathan Quiroz. Joshua Jones is fighting. Other names I don't know, but it's a more prestigious card. Bellator doesn't do as many events. When they do one this big and you've got a UFC event this bad, prioritize. There's ever a weekend to watch Bellator over the UFC. Watch the main event
Yeah.
highlights on Fight Pass. Watch it the next day. It's not a card worth staying up for. Bellator 263 just might.
Yeah, and they're not ducking it. They're not coming out on Friday. This one's on a Saturday.
Yeah.
It's straight head to head. I think Bellator's actually on an hour later.
I actually think that the UFC deliberately made this card pre-shit even before the dropouts because they just didn't see the point in competing.
Yeah.
Because the UFC
Well, I
has
mean, to be
got
honest,
no. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say August is kind of like their dump month, you know. June, they'll do International Fight Week. They try to have a huge event for the pay-per-view in June. July is usually, you know, fairly solid because stuff gets moved from June when fights fall out and so on. It's just to be expected, you know, anything immediately kind of after, like in the tail end of June and into July, there will have been fights that just got pushed back a little bit. They were trying to make those fights around that time. And then August is usually a bit of a dump month. We don't get, it's usually the weakest pay-per-view of the year. It's usually a lot of pretty soft international fight nights. And you know, I think the only year where they kind of try to change that curve, because it's not just for the UFC, it's for the entire sporting world. It's for entertainment. You know, dump month is a term from Hollywood. That's how I know that term. So, but yeah, August is usually a pretty shit one. And then there was the year that they did the Conor McGregor Nate Diaz rematch, and that was like an insanely hyped up August that did pretty good on the pay-per-views as well, right? But yeah, usually this month, like everybody just kind of dials it in. The whole of the Northern Hemisphere complain it's too hot. No one wants to work. No one wants to do shit. No one wants to put on big events. But movie-wise, this is a good fucking month. There's that Ryan Reynolds one, Free Guy, coming out. I'm pretty jacked up for that. And we got Bellator 263. So, oh wait, no, it's still technically July.
I get what you
It's still
mean, though.
July, no.
The James Gunn's The Suicide Squad comes out in a week. Fucking stoked for that.
Yeah. Oh man, I've heard it's so good as well.
I've heard excellent things. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Guys, we've put this off long enough. Should we just smash through this terrible card? Sly is so ready to get through this card. Out of curiosity, have we been able to spike any interest in watching Bellator over UFC for you this weekend?
No, man, no.
Not at all.
No.
It's okay because we'll address that on Monday. We'll address that on Monday. We don't need
it's
to.
just, it's like, you know, when football they sometimes have like these legends games, and like the other day here in Barcelona 2 years ago they had legends game. It was like Barcelona legends versus Madrid legends. I mean, it's full of really talented people, but I just can't get motivated to watch it. Maybe I'll watch that 1 million fight because I'm sure for 1 million they're actually going to try and hit each other. But there's only so much fighting I can take. I find that even sometimes the UFC non-main events are, can I take this much more fights? So for me to go and now watch, you know, Bellator as well, or watch one would be just, I'd get bored. I'd get bored of like two guys just in a ring, just looking at each other. Oh, hitting, not hitting.
You're ready for August.
Well, I need more people to hate each other when they're in the ring, man. Bellator, they don't
Oh
hate
well, nah.
Man,
Pitbull, AJ
Tracy
McKee,
stormed
there's a lot
out
of
at the
venom
press
behind
conference.
Let's see what happens. But that's the 1 million fight, no?
That's the 1 million fight.
That's different.
And no one could ask you to watch it in addition. Like we were saying, would you maybe watch it instead of the UFC this week?
No.
No.
Because I'm actually excited about 2 fights on the UFC card.
Why?
Doesn't mean I'm going to watch it. I'm just saying that, you know, if I had to choose one, I'll probably take the one where, you know, at least I can get Tom to bet against me.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So, with all the enthusiasm of a dead blowfish, we will move forward to the only fight that I give a fuck about, Uriah Hall against Sean Strickland. Now, one thing that was quite entertaining, has anybody seen the 18-minute gold that was Sean Strickland's media day?
Nah, the only thing I've really heard is just him talking about how he got to train with Hamzat Chimaev for a little bit, for a couple of weeks in this camp, and that he really appreciated Chimaev as a training partner and as an athlete. But I feel like I've missed something.
So he got a standing ovation from the entire media on his exit for his interview. It was filled with gold, absolute gold. Some of the quotes, including things like, we need a war, man. We need Russia, China, come on. I need the fucking bomb. I need you to drop that goddamn bomb, man. We need to get rid of some of these shitheads. I'm done with it. I'm fucking living in the woods, man. Kill a bunch of people. We need a war, man. We need to get these fucking generation of pussies fighting. We need a Vietnam. We need a real war. We've had too many easy ones.
Wow.
And that was just like towards the end of a whole thread about him talking about how he only fights so that he can eventually afford to go live in the woods away from all society. He thinks the belt, everyone is stupid. And this is the best description I've ever heard of Uriah Hall. He said, I'm the kind of guy that will tell you before I spar you that I don't like you and I'm only doing this so I can hurt you and knock you out and then knock you out. Uriah Hall's the kind of guy who'll knock you out, go home, sit in his bed, and then beat his dick off thinking about it.
Interesting.
And
Also
many more
unfair.
quotes.
Uriah Hall's the kind of guy that will knock you out, go home and reflect on it, maybe shed a few tears and not feel great about it, and then take a few weeks to get back into training because he doesn't really want to be doing that to people anymore. But what he said was funnier. I'll give him that.
Yeah. He also says that he doesn't fight for money, winning, fame, or anything. He fights literally because it's therapy.
I mean, I've seen this guy train. I've seen his training videos. I like his intensity. I disagree with so much that he says, but when I hear him saying it, there's a little part of me that's like, yeah, I understand the energy. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Two horses in tandem, you and me.
He just does not give a fuck. It was brilliant. And then when they asked Uriah Hall afterwards, his response was just like, yeah, man, Sean says some crazy fucking shit that makes absolutely no sense. He's just that guy. He also managed to drop about 5 to 10 cunts during his media day as well. And
wait, Uriah or Sean?
Sean.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still it's still always good when people use that word correctly.
Yeah. He then had a whole conversation about the fact that unless you're British, you get a real surprise from people when you say the word cunts, like it cuts through their soul or something.
And Australians understand that you can use that word properly as well.
He mentioned Aussies as well.
Open-minded guy, that Sean.
Yeah, it was fun. In terms of the actual fight, I'd really like to believe that Uriah Hall's in a mental framework where he can sort of use his best weapons. But I just think that Sean Strickland's going to go through him. I think he's a guy who doesn't give a fuck. He'll get hit. He's not there to fight sensibly or technically. He can do all of that, but he's willing to take some shots to hurt you. And Uriah Hall likes space. He likes the ability to make it technical. He doesn't really like getting into a dogfight. If you look at his fight against Paulo Costa, he was doing great work in that fight for a really long time. And then before he knew it, he was just overwhelmed and beaten up. And really the end of the fight was just this kind of acceptance of it more than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, he's a tough guy, but he has these power moves that are so exciting. You know, that spinning hook kick's ridiculous, but he kind of needs people to walk onto it. And he doesn't do well with guys that constantly move forward and pressure him. I mean, he got a highlight reel knockout on Gegard Mousasi, but he got whooped in the rematch. And I'm with you. I think that if he's going to let Sean Strickland close the distance and, you know, come in for one of these like power shots, what he's going to find is that Sean Strickland's going to close the distance at the same time that he's landing a 1-2. And it's going to come with varied timing, always powerful, always accurate. And, you know, that straight punch, he really fucking hurts people with it. I don't think this is going to go the distance either, you know. I think Strickland's going to get the finish.
I think it's inside 3 rounds.
I dare say it'll be inside 2. I mean, Uriah Hall can be really, really tough, but it has to you have to take him into deep water slowly to really kind of get the best out of him. You know, this is a guy that got starched by Derek Brunson inside 10, 15 seconds. You know, and who the fuck gets knocked out by Derek Brunson? No offense, Derek, but it's just that's not Derek's game plan. And Uriah Hall was chatting all that shit about not wanting to be wrestle fucked, and all of a sudden you get sparked. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'll interject there with Derek Bronson. He had a stage in his career where he was knocking everybody out in the first round.
Yeah, you're right. That's unfair. But in a fight where I expect that he's going to look to win the fight by getting 3 takedowns, 1 in each round, he just went out there and just knocked Uriah Hall the fuck out. And yeah, I felt bad for Uriah at the time because, you know, he was really trying to build some hype. And that's always just kind of been the story of his career. He doesn't even do a Bisping. He falls short 1 hurdle before the last hurdle, you know? He won't even get himself into that challenger fight, that title challenger discussion. So, yeah, I think Strickland's going to knock him out inside 2. Yeah,
I'm going Strickland knockout as well. Sly, anything to add?
Uriah Hall will win by knockout quite easily, I think. I don't know what you guys know about Strickland. Strickland's going to get knocked out and he's going to get back into the bushes to live by himself and think about it. And he's probably going to jerk off thinking about how he lost. And that's it, really.
Wow.
Uriah Hall will win this easily.
Easily? Which round?
Before the 3rd.
Before the 3rd. Yeah. Okay. I thought you were going to say before the 1st there for a second. I was like, wow, that would be impressive.
Yeah, I'm going to give him that Jeremy Stevens magic.
I was going to say, he's already won his last fight without throwing a single strike. Imagine if he won this one without even setting foot in the octagon.
Magic Uriah Hall. But yeah, Strickland's going to get beaten up, mate. That's what I've got to say.
Well, I'll tell you who agrees with you. Uriah Hall. Because in the promo, one of the things that he says in a different interview is, well, this guy wants to stand with me. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Like, you got to wrestle to beat me. You ain't standing with me. But obviously that doesn't really work because he said that after the Paulo Costa fight. Paulo Costa's never tried to take down a human being in his life since The Ultimate Fighter. I think he still has nightmares about being tired trying to take somebody down. Just like, never again. No. Okay. So the co-main event. Wow. This says everything you need to know about what's coming up after this. Kang Kyun Ho against Ronnie Yaya.
It's going to be a really good fight, actually, because they're really quite evenly matched. So I think we can actually enjoy this one.
Well, Ronnie Yaya is a beast. He's a grappling beast.
Kang Kyun Ho.
Kang Kyun Ho.
There's just 2 guys. They've got a lot of really good submissions.
Who was his last fight? I can't picture the guy.
Kang Kyun Ho or Ronnie Yaya?
Kang Kyun Ho. I know Ronnie Yaya.
This is going to be like a judo match. It's going to be quite weird and nice.
He's another grappler as well, yeah?
Yeah, they're both like...
Yeah, Ronnie Yaya, you don't need to tell me much about. Big fan. The other guy, I feel really bad. I can't even picture the guy right now.
Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect. I seen you say that. I just think Senor Perfecto, like Bill Algeo. Fuck.
So, Kang Kyun Ho won all of his fights in 2019 in the UFC. His last loss was in 2018 to Ricardo Ramos. He also, before that, fought in 2014. Yeah, I think this guy had to serve military service in South Korea.
South Korean.
Yeah, so he was in the UFC in 2013, had a loss at UFC 164, then had a draw that was overturned against Alex Caceres. And then 2014, he gets 2 wins, looking good. 4 years out, comes back, loses to Ricardo Ramos. But since then, he's been on a 4-fight win streak, but didn't fight during COVID. Didn't fight in 2020. So he's been around for a while. He's looking good in the UFC, but obviously he hasn't been active against Ronnie Yahya, who, funny enough, if you look at Ronnie Yahya's career, he's been in the UFC for fucking ages, but doesn't fight very often.
Yeah. Well, it's more that he takes a lot of time off between fights. So the other thing is with the South Korean military service, if you're like a big name athlete or celebrity, they'll give you like a soft assignment for you 2 years, or you can get like a soft assignment for you 2 years. So it's not like you're taking time out of the game and putting more miles on your tires at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
But Yaya's no spring chicken either, right? How old's he?
36.
Like,
so really, this is the battle of the barely seen-ems.
Yeah. Fuck, man. I'm going to go Yaya. I'll go by decision. I think they'll nullify each other a little bit if they're that credentialed.
Sylvester.
I've gone for Korea, mate.
He's representing Korea. What method have you gone for?
Oh, I think I put this. I put sub.
Submission. I'm going to go Yaya by submission. Although I'm a little bit nervous about matching Josh too much because that did not work out well for me on the previous cards.
What are you complaining about? You won.
I won because I changed. I won because I went.
You won because that lazy prick didn't submit any picks.
I know Sly would have murdered us on that one.
How was your holiday, by the way?
Sorry?
How was your holiday?
Yeah, it's okay. I like being home. I'm not big on holidays. They're expensive.
Yeah, you are mentally ready for August.
I don't know who had less energy, Sly today or you being stoned out of your mind on the Monday show.
Well, I don't really remember that, so I couldn't tell you.
Sorry, I've taken something because my foot really hurts. I kind of like twisted my ankle, my foot, so I took an ibuprofen. It's a fat one, I think. It's kind of like numbing. Like I'm just like, that's it, really. Yeah, stuck. Like ibuprofen.
I love ibuprofen.
I would prefer the edibles, but hey.
Well, you're here, which we appreciate. And this one fight, I'm only excited to see because this lady was just robbed by a horrible fighter who just got the bitchiest fucking decision win with one position of all time. And Shine Vice still managed to have the most memorable moment with what she said afterwards. I'll follow you home, bitch. Fucking brilliant. She's taking on Gloria De Paula. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Paula by KO.
What's De Paula's last fight?
I can't picture it. This is what I was trying to stall time for. But Sly is.
It's just she's got some. She's got 5 wins. Yeah, and 3 of them are by KO. I don't know many girls that can KO other girls, man. So if this girl can knock other girls out, she's probably going to win.
Is this her first fight in the UFC? I thought I recognized the name.
Gloria De Paula.
She's definitely fought in the UFC. Oh, she's definitely fought in the UFC.
Let's see.
Sorry, I'm keeping
Well, when you click on her, it doesn't. Oh yeah, I've got something coming up. She beat Frey.
Oh, that's right, Jinyu Frey.
Yeah.
Jinyu Frey's not bad.
No.
She's a 26-year-old Muay Thai fighter. She has trains at Chitbox Sao Paulo. She's from Brazil.
It's not a lot of trainers shoot a box that aren't Brazilian. It's a very specific kind of culture they got going on down there.
Well,
actually, where did fucking Till train when he lived in Brazil?
Oh, fuck knows.
Yeah,
I don't think it was shootbox.
I don't think it was. Yeah, and he's a fucking unique one too, though. So Ah, fuck, man. I mean, I like Bays for a lot of reasons, but you know, she did get scarf held for 3 rounds, and yeah, I know Montserrat just got exposed for how how one-dimensional she is. Yeah, I'll go with De Paula. De Paula or De Paula?
De Paula.
De Paula.
Paolo. You fucking motherfucker. You can't say one each. One of you has to be right.
It's De Paula.
Call her Gloria, mate. De Paula.
I'll go with De Paula then. Yeah, fuck it. I'll go De Paula. Nah, KO. I'll go De Paula decision. This is really the third from last fight. This is just underneath the co-main, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not moving
Fucking
that
hell,
quick.
boys. Yeah, I'm not doing this
Okay.
shit side either. We'll do it quick, but I'm going to quickly make a drink. I've got the headphones on. Keep going.
Okay. I'm going Cheyenne buys because Gloria De Paula actually lost to Jin Fry.
Did she?
Yeah. And Jin
For
Fry
fuck's
was
sake, Sly.
average. So with your picks already locked in, I'm going Cheyenne
changing
buys by
mine.
decision.
Sweet.
So Josh, are you going KO or decision for buys?
Decision.
I'm going decision as
for
well.
Bays.
I'm going decision as well. Speed round, motherfuckers. Stoltz versus Jared Gordon. I'm going Stoltz by knockout.
What?
Josh,
Is that Jared
Right.
Flash Gordon?
is that Jared Flash Gordon? Yes, it is.
9 train.
9 train.
Night train.
Knight's train.
All right, I'm going to go on the night train. Godin, KO.
Gooden. Josh, what's your pick?
Stoltz.
By
Stoltz KO.
boom. Flyweight, Ryan Benoit against Zaruk Adashev. The weirdest MMA record I've ever seen in the UFC for a bloke. 3-3 against Ryan Benoit, 10-7. It's battle of the bad records. I'm going Benoit by knockout.
Yeah, Benoit by knockout.
I have changed mine. I'm going Bays by decision. I'm not being misled by this hungover little dump month living.
We've accepted it and we're past it. Next pick.
I don't know. Benoit's disappointed me before. I'll go for the other guy by decision.
Adashev by decision. Welterweight, main card opener. One of the actual decent fights. Brian Barberena against Jason Witt. Sly, you can go first.
Oh, definitely Jason, the Vanilla Gorilla Witt.
Josh. Oh, sorry, bye. KO. Josh. Decision. Josh.
No, I'm going Bam Bam by decision. The guy just finds ways to win fights. He's just ridiculous.
Bam Bam by decision. I agree with that. I am also going Bam Bam, but I am going knockout. Motherfucker, we're on the prelims already. Nico Montano, the former champ. She's a bantamweight. She's taking on Yanan Wu. What the fuck is going to happen here? Josh, take us away.
Assuming she gets to the fight. Assuming this fight actually happens, she actually walks. I'll go with Montano by decision.
I'll go for Wu Hanan. Wu Hanan by decision.
By decision. I am also going to go Wu Hanan by decision. Montano hasn't fought in fucking ages. Featherweight. Colin Anglin against Melsik Bagdasarian. Both making their UFC debut. Fuck it. Anglin by knockout. Why not? Josh.
What was the first dude's name?
Anglin.
The second dude's name, sorry.
Bagdasarian. Imagine Baghdad, but you've added Sarian at the end.
I'm going to take Baghdad by KO. Boom. Sorry, I can't say that.
I'll take Baghdad Sarian by decision because I like the name a little bit more.
Fair enough. Lightweight, Chris Grutzmacher against Rafa Garcia. 14-4 against 12-1. I don't care who goes first. Whoever wants to go first.
Is this the long hair Grutzmacher that was in the Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, long hair. 35.
Yeah, decent fighter, but just kind of like a perennial disappointment, to be honest. Fuck. You know what? I'll go Grutzmacher by decision. Sometimes he falls out of the bag.
Grutzmacher by KO.
Rafi Garcia by KO, just to be different. Featherweight, Danny Chavez against Kai Kamaka. Kai Kamaka has already lost me money in the past. So Danny Chavez is getting my pick by decision.
Chavez by KO.
Kamaka by decision, just to be different.
Chavez by KO.
Strawweight, we've already talked about her. Jin Yu Fry taking on Ashley Yoder. You thought one of the previous bad records was bad. This is 10-6 v 8-7. Ashley Yoder's fighting for her 500 status to be not achieved. Strawweight, what's going to happen here? Josh, take us away.
I think Yoda shits the bed again. I'll go Jin Fry by decision.
Yoda by decision.
I don't know, but Yoda looked impressive until she, in her previous 2 fights, until she had to fight Angela Hill, who's actually good. Yoda by decision. Bantamweights, Ronnie Lawrence and Trevin Jones are slinging it down.
That would be a good fight.
Lawrence KO.
Yeah, this is a sick fight. I'll also go Lawrence.
Yeah. Wait, it's 5-star Jones, yeah?
I am not seeing the ring names, but he has a 13-6 and 1 no contest record. He knocked out Mario Bautista in his
and the one before that
fight.
was Timur Valiev. He knocked him out after he was getting whooped, and then because he came in on like 2 days' notice and had been smoking weed, they give him a fucking no contest. Yeah, I'll go 5-star by KO.
And you've already said Ronnie Lawrence.
Yeah.
Final fight, Philip Rowe taking on newcomer Orion Kosuke at welterweight. Kosuke is undefeated at 7-0. Philip Rowe, 7-3. Someone go first, because I don't know these people.
Kosuke KO.
Kosuke KO, sure.
I'm afraid to be different. Kosuke by KO as well.
Boys, how the fuck is that Ronnie Lawrence, Trevin Jones fight
Not on the main card.
not headlining the prelims if it's not on the main card?
How is Danny Chavez versus Kai Kamaka not on the main card with some of these fights that are on there instead?
Yeah, it's weird.
No, Nico Montano is a shit fucking champ. He's a former fucking champ. How is she not on the main card at least?
No, that one. Okay, that is well deserved. You can't fuck with people's expectations like she did.
Watch Bellator.
Yeah, watch Bellator.
Dave, Laurie, watch Bellator. Joey, if you're watching, watch Bellator.
And by the way, just as a picture, because we're not in the speed round anymore, I'm going for fucking Cheyenne Bays by decision, not being hoodwinked by that one.
We've all established that
Yes.
You only needed to rhyme with us 3 times.
Well, no. So when you said it's been established, I don't know if you mean no. The previously incorrect pick has been established, and you cannot change that.
Okay.
Private Bays decision.
I now say it for a 4th time. Yes, your previous pick has been established. You are Cheyenne Bays by decision. How pissed off are you going to be if Gloria wins?
Nah, not really. But it's the last one I'm having to do with my phone. I haven't got a laptop at the moment, so
nice.
It didn't mean I could have spent all of today preparing for it, but I tried to get some other shit done instead, like an idiot.
I respect that. I would have also checked my laptop, but the thing is that even though I was kind of allowed to log out early, I still switched off all of the Wi-Fi and internet and shit just in case people messaged me and I didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, man. I did see when I tried to check for my facelift earlier, people were like messaging me and stuff, and I'm like, I've left the company. Like, fuck off. Doesn't matter. This is it. I'll go buy weed.
You can go buy weed.
Yeah.
Mate, enjoy. Everyone watching, enjoy the fights if you somehow can, and hopefully that's on Bellator. Till next week, bye Dave, bye Laurie.
Bye Dave, bye Laurie.